I'm just making this video because basically I've got a fucking cyst on the back of my head that I'm about to cut out. It's Saturday morning. I'm not at work today. I'll just give people a quick glimpse out of it. I'm not going to video this because, you know what I mean, that's like fucking disgusting tramps videoing their fucking nastiness, you know what I mean? That's what the world is, a wacko world of wackos that like watching revolting, disgusting fucking things. Anyway, I'm in my tent where I am at work. And yeah, I'm basically gonna fucking perform a fucking operation on my fucking, I'm gonna cut that out. I've got fucking, just quickly while I'm here, whether I upload this or not, I don't know yet. In here, I bought these ages ago. Hang on, let me do it that way, it's easier. Plasters, antiseptic wipes, super glue, gloves, ointment, tweezers, and what I'm going to do it with, hang on, if I can get to the bottom of my bag. Yeah, so just quickly while I'm on this, I'm going to use the little Stanley blade. Now just quickly while I'm on this, I was going to cut that out a little while ago, before Christmas, way before Christmas, and I was trying to buy some stuff in Boots, and they didn't have everything I wanted, so I didn't bother buying anything. But in there was high strength alcohol, rubbing alcohol for sterilisation. And a few weeks later, or a couple of months later maybe, I went back into the shop to buy the same rubbing alcohol, and it was no longer on the shelves. I then went into every chemist, this is in Bedford, and no chemist is stocking alcohol now, like pure alcohol for sterilisation. I couldn't get it. I can't get it anywhere. I've been into loads of pharmacies, and nowhere seems to now have it. So are they taking products off of the shelves in all the shops so that nobody can sterilise things safely and do anything for themselves? That's what it looks like, and that's happened over the last few months. Yeah, I'm just adding to that video that I've just made quickly. I haven't got a lot of battery actually, so I'm gonna need to fucking charge it up and make another one a bit later. Basically what I'm doing now, I'm just boiling some water, so I've got a bit of hot water, and then what I'm gonna do is I've taken the Stanley blade out. So what I'm gonna do is sterilise the Stanley blade by boiling it along with the tweezers in case I need it. I also did buy some fucking numbing cream as well, I've put on there. Whether it fucking works or not, I'm not a fucking million fucking sure that that's going to fucking work, but it doesn't seem to be numbing my head. I've already just put some on. Yeah, so the reason I'm cutting that out is because fucking like in the video that was banned was basically that, yeah, under hate speech apparently, was that the NHS won't remove a cyst for you. You've got a lump coming out of your head or body, and you know it's grotesque. You don't want a fucking lump coming out of your fucking body. But the NHS won't do anything until it's at a massive size, so that it's totally fucking hideous, when it takes fucking 10 minutes to fucking do that. And if you went to the doctor, anyone can perform that. And if you go to the doctors with that, they'll just say, no, we don't do that, because we're not allowed to do that, because we've been told not to do that. And they run like a private business in their own time, where that costs nearly £1,000 nearly for you to have that removed, when it would take them 10 minutes. Yet if you go to the doctors and you're trying to scam money, and you just say, I'm depressed, I'm dying, I'm crying, I'm not very happy, what they'll do is give you an hour's consultation and about £30,000 worth of drugs every year that you get you off your nut, so you're not depressed anymore, you're just off your nut. You know what I mean? That's the NHS. They won't help you with problems to your body like bad backs, bad shoulders, bad body. What they do is mutilate your bodies, and they offer sex changes and breast implants. On the NHS, the fake tits that I've felt in my life were NHS funded. So they withhold vital treatment for people to make money on the side, yet they're more than happy, because it's government agenda, to using the health service that people had their pay packets robbed for, to perform and turn people into artificial mutant freaks. But they won't deal with proper things. And like a cyst is a very, very fucking common thing. It's like 1 in 3 people suffer from cysts. It's basically a blocked hair follicle. And what I've highlighted in the past was that the oil in the hair comes out, and there's a blockage in one of the hair follicles, and basically that's what that is a build-up of the oils and stuff that come out onto the hair. I can't remember, keratin or some shit the fucking actual name is. Who gives a fuck what the fucking name is? It's not that important. It's basically some of the oils that come out onto the hair. And just quickly, while I'm on this, I've never actually asked, I don't know if black people have oilier hair. I just want to point that out. I've touched black people's hair all through my life, and it's always oily, but I was talking to my boy about it, and he reckons that there is stuff that they put on the hair, and I've never really asked or care. It ain't that important. The point I was making about oil on the hair was right. Whether I'm right or wrong about the black people having oilier hair, I don't know, because I haven't asked one. I might ask one at work, because there's a couple at work actually, so I should really ask and do that. But either or, it don't really matter. The point I was making was correct. Whether the intricate detail of it is correct or not, I'm not 1,000,000% sure, but I've just remembered it while I was making that video. But yeah, so anyway, I'm just boiling some water, so I've got some hot water to obviously clean everything, and yeah, I'm going to boil the tweezers and the knife, the blade, in some boiling water to sterilise it. That should really be good enough. Maybe I'll burn it a little bit as well with some flame, who knows. I'll see at the time when I'm about to fucking do it. But yeah, I'm not going to fucking videotape that, because it's just fucking revolting. But yeah, the reason I'm doing it is because that's grown, it's got bigger than what it was. I've got another little tiny one round the back on this side, and I had another one that went. It was bigger than the other two because they were all tiny, more or less. Just you can only feel them under the skin. But yeah, one's gone. One disappeared, and yeah, this one just is grown and it keeps growing. So that's why I'm just going to cut it out because it keeps getting bigger, and the NHS won't do anything until it's the size of your fucking hand, because the NHS don't help you if there's money to be made on the side, like with bad backs, with bad bodies, and yeah, they spend more money on mutilating people, the mentally ill, changing them into the opposite sex, because that's the agenda, and breast implants. But actual illness, what your pay packets have been robbed for, we don't do that on the NHS. All we do is mutilate you and turn you into fucking freaks. Or give you drugs, free drugs to fucking normally dull bludgers. You know what I mean? Little ponces that want everything given to them in life for fucking nothing. And get it to keep them in a state of dependency and drug addiction. Right. As far as I'm aware, I'm not 100% sure if I've got it all, but I got most of it. I'll give you this. I bought a mirror as well. I had to buy a big mirror. If you look down there, all that nastiness and gunk and shit, I got something out of it. I'm not a million % sure I've got it all. Where's the other fucking mirror? It was fucking very awkward because I'm fucking trying to hold the fucking mirror and do it. I'm not sure you're gonna fucking see it on there. I'm not sure that's still swelling or not. I've swelled it, but there is a cut there into my head. Hang on, let me try this one. This is a very slight, you can see where it was, just about, but I'm not sure whether but it's definitely gone completely down in size, but that might be swelling now where I've fucking done it. I don't know, but I've tried to fucking get as much out of that as I fucking possibly can right now. Whether that works or it doesn't work is a fucking different matter. Do you know what I mean? But ultimately, if it does work, I'll fucking save myself fucking £1,000. From there it doesn't look too bad. Certainly not the big fucking lump that was fucking coming out of there. Like I said, that could well be fucking swollen from where it was before. I'm not 100% fucking certain on that. It was a lot harder than I fucking thought it would be, because you're trying to get the fucking angle of the fucking I was trying to hold a fucking mirror and fucking direct the blade, and I cut it a couple of times, and it didn't fucking, nothing was coming out until I fucking give it a proper good squeeze. It's just what's in there, some chunks and that, but well, I'm just following on from that video that I made earlier. Well, cut the cyst out. I cut and squeezed it. Yeah, I didn't use the wipes that I bought. I didn't use the super glue either, or oh well, I've stuck a fucking plaster on that simply because I wear a hat. I wear a hat regardless of whether I have a cyst on my fucking head or not. I've just put some charging. So it's 21 past 1, 22 past 1 on Saturday the 4th of February. Yeah, I've just walked into the fucking, I've just come for a fucking charge my phone up, have some food and have a couple of beers. And the fucking little cunts in here have put the fucking prices up again. It's the second time in a matter of months they put the price up in here. This place in here is packed from morning till closing time every day. Every day you come in here, you struggle to get a fucking seat in the fucking place. Same as the one in Bedford that I've been to. I've been to the other one in Milton Keynes as well. I'm in Bletchley at the minute, the land of the bullshit code fucking breaker. This pub's like a fucking museum as well as a pub. Ooh, the Enigma machine. Look there, man. The control room at Hub 6 at Bletchley Park. You know what I mean? It's just like, that is a complete bullshit publicity fucking photo for fucking 2-year-old little baby. Yeah, 2-year-old baby fucking Mongos that inhabit the asylum that believe everything they were told as a fucking child. Because they're just a fucking wacko by their owners. Yeah, not only does the NHS not fucking treat illnesses and things that afflict the general population on every level regarding their bodies, their backs, cysts, all of these things, they're all free to treat. They are free to treat and very easy to treat if people were given the right treatment and advice that cost not a penny. Now, you know, what's that cost? They have scalpels. There's loads of. They should have a scalpel. A little bit of fucking cream and 10 minutes of their time would have cut that out. Yet they don't do that apparently. They're there to help depression, which, if you have lumps coming out yourself, you'd be depressed. It's a lot cheaper to take a fucking lump out your head than it is to prescribe you thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds of psychotropic drugs that literally mash people to shit. Now, I've been over it before. I'm an expert in drugs, meaning that I've been around people on drugs my whole life and been on drugs for the majority of my life myself, so I know when someone is off their nut. And when I was in the YMCA, I was surrounded by wackos on those fucking drugs, and you would watch the personalities and the eyes change when people took those substances, and they are off their nut on those things. So yeah, the NHS basically the rulers of the asylum steal from your pay packets, have robbed our pay packets, meaning the indigenous population of this land. Then they obviously also rob the immigrants as they come in here to the land as well. They rob their pay packets, but ultimately the British population's pay packets have been robbed to fund sex changes, breast implants, and treatment for fucking immigrants from around the world who just decide, well, who are given housing over the indigenous population of this land. And not only did I experience that, when my son moved out of my place, he went into a hostel. And when I met up back with him, he also did exactly the same as I did, because it's not very hard to fucking do. And he went, look, that's how much they get a week. And he was told that he weren't entitled to housing in Luton as well, because the police had illegally moved him to St Albans, where he lived for less than a month. And they told him he had no ties to Luton either. So he couldn't get any housing while he watched them house immigrants from around the world, because there's quotas in place, not just because this is what it was banned in the video by YouTube months after it had been posted on a channel that had received numerous bans, so they were monitoring everything I put up with. Even though it had no extra views, they just decided to remove it. But anyway, yeah, what you have now are the immigrants in power are now trying to get the indigenous population to pay for the healthcare, because they have given it away to immigrants around the world, and now trying to get us to whack more cost onto you, take more money and feed more money out of your wages, out of our wages every week. Yeah, whether you are born here or not does not make you indigenous to this land. Yeah, the world's media reports that white people in Africa, in South Africa and Zimbabwe, are invaders on foreign ancestral soil. Yet we have immigrants in power in this country now, dictating about gays, dictating and charging the British population, the indigenous population, for trying to get them to force them into paying for healthcare. And you've also got them now, and they're the ones making immigration laws. What was banned in the video that YouTube banned was that the towns where you now have immigrant mayors, are places of mass immigration. So what they do, they're flooding the land with immigrants and giving them the right to vote, so that they can vote their own people in, that then favours them over the indigenous population of this land. I'm from Luton. Luton, as I don't pay attention that much, but I know that there has been hardly any indigenous mayors in my lifespan in Luton, and I know the majority of the population was indigenous, and I know the majority of the population definitely didn't vote immigrants into power, because it's all fraudulent, because it's private. That's how it all works. By the way, this is a fictional TV series for Netflix that I'm making, called The Exampla, the son of the creator. Everything in this video is completely fictional, which is what was stated in all my videos that get banned by YouTube and Facebook under medical misinformation, under hate speech now, because to me they're making more and more bullshit up. And just quickly on this, the immigrants that are in power, the majority are from the continent of, or not continent, but India and Pakistan, that allegedly Great Britain had invaded in the time when no one can remember, just like they allegedly invaded the rest of the world, were mean to them, set up an education system to educate them how mean they were to them, and then allowed them all into this land to house, to make quotas in place that discriminate against the indigenous population of this land, which is discrimination, which is oppression, which is racist against the indigenous population of this land. But because that's what the word racist means, it means that you favour your own skin tone, and that's what's taking place. You have immigrants in power favouring immigrants over the indigenous population. And if you listen to the media in India, in Pakistan, you'll see how anti-British it is, and how bad it really is, like how much they slag off the British and claim that we were mean to them in the time that nobody can remember. Yet when an indigenous person in this land tries to point out that our country has been invaded, our land has been invaded, that our pay packets have been stolen, and our land is being overrun and overtook by immigrants, the media brands you racist for daring to say that. We've had in this country, you have immigrants that have invaded this land. Now, invasion is an invasion, which means there are people from other lands flooding into this land. That's an invasion, regardless of whether they have gun in their hand or not, or weapons. Now, in the land at the time nobody can remember, they didn't have motorised vehicles, meaning everything would have to be done by horse. They did not have shops, supermarkets and all of these things. So the stories that they claim took place regarding foreign armies are undoable. It's physically impossible to do that, simply because of the amount of food that you would have to transport. Now, I understand just how much weight and mass the food that you eat that you need to carry for one person for 1 week regarding food and water. Now, if you're a foreign invader with all these armies to other lands that apparently had never been conquered, you wouldn't know where the rivers were, you wouldn't know the landscape, meaning that you wouldn't be able to work your way up there, and the indigenous population would be able to attack you on those routes if that was what was taking place. And again, because what people's idea of warfare is the make-believe world of TV and the cartoon, meaning, oh, we'll meet you on the battlefield. That's a most ridiculous way to stop foreign invaders come to your country, especially if they have a bigger and more sophisticated army. That wouldn't take place unless the leaders of the indigenous armies were trying to tuck up their own people and get them slaughtered and massacred by a more advanced foreign army. And when that took place, there was also no automatic weapons. They claim it was done with very primitive rifle, which are very crap, very hard to load, take a long time to load, and if you're very good with a knife is a more deadlier weapon than one of those old muskets. And apparently, according to the media, in India, there is ninjas everywhere and a giant Sikh army that rose against the Pakistanis or the Muslims, and then they created Pakistan. Well, if they were that advanced and mighty, why didn't they do that to the British, who were on someone else's land, who didn't know the land, and had travelled miles from other places to get there? It's just gunk, because one man would struggle just to carry their food for 1 week. You can't carry your entire week's food and water on your own for 1 week. It's nearly impossible just to carry 1 week's worth of food. That's 1 week. To sail from foreign lands over to these lands, it would be the amount of food that you would have to carry on those sailboats would outweigh the people and weight that you could carry in persons. It's make-believe. It's complete fiction for fucking 2-year-old babies that just believe film and books over their actual fucking reality. And because they don't understand or question anything about the stories, the fictional baby stories for fucking 2-year-old Mongos. There's a reason they teach it to children, because children are thick and gullible, and they are tested to make sure that they do that. But like I said, I personally know how much you have to carry to feed yourself for 1 week, and this would have been back in the day where it would have to be vegetables or meat. And even to hunt would be very you have to be the best hunters, and you'd spend all your time hunting for the food. You wouldn't have time to be invading and fighting armies and making weapons and chains and boats and carrying all of this shit. You'd also need more horse, so you'd have to ship horse as well, or try to catch horse in other people's land. It's just two stories for 2-year-old babies that believe cartoon pictures and Hollywood films. Hollywood films. But anyway, yeah, so what you have now are immigrants in power in this country now trying to dictate and make laws that the indigenous population now have to pay for healthcare. And like I said, the healthcare that they offer, if there's no profit for the drugs companies, they ain't fucking giving you that treatment. You have to pay, people have to pay to go to chiropractors, which is another load of bullshit. Load of shit where they just slightly bend your body back, but then the tendons and ligaments would simply pull all your bone structure back. They may click a few bones out of the fucked up little cretin cunt position that you're in and make you feel slightly better for a week or two, but it's not sustainable. And like I've already pointed out about my arm, I did the physiotherapy, I did everything the NHS fucking told me to do with my arm and had nothing but problems with it. Yoga was the only thing that got that out, and yoga's the only thing that could sort of back out. But just yesterday I was speaking to a bloke at work. He's not the smartest tool in the fucking toolbox, let's put it that way. I quite like the geezer, but he's a complete wacko that got injected to go to fucking raves and on holiday. You know what I mean? What a wacko. But he's on about going to a chiropractor. I'm saying to him, look mate, I'm 43 years of age. I'm double your age. You've seen how I work, and I've straightened my back through yoga. That's the only way you can do it. Yeah, well, I'm going to the car because they won't listen to the people around their own spines. They don't listen to normal population, because a mental patient, by the age of 23, I think he is, by that age, you're a complete wacko that's gone in the world and only listens to the rulers and think they're looking after you, and are governed by the media and society, meaning you're just worried about what everyone else is fucking doing. But yeah, I didn't use any of that. It costs nothing. It costs nothing to remove a cyst. Not a penny. Not a fucking penny, realistically, for a doctor to do that. But they don't do that. They don't help you in any way, shape or form unless it involves you putting drugs into your body that then create more illness further down the line, because they work for the drugs companies, not for the population, and not to make a healthy population, because a healthy population is very bad for business if your business is the sick. Yeah, so that's what you've got. Immigrants in power now, dictating gays, dictating that you need to pay more and banning you from living how you were naturally designed to live via fire, while flooding this country with even more immigrants, because what they do, they award contracts to people from those countries to ensure that it's no different from they did with the Irish, they did with the Sikh, did with the Muslim, and did with nearly every fucking immigrant to this land, by awarding business contracts to them, multi-million pound, billion pound building contracts and other contracts to get them to, and give them housing to come over here, to get them to leave their own place of origin. And yeah, all the laws in place are there to discriminate against the indigenous, yet when an indigenous person tries to speak about that, they're shot down in the same media that is not white governed, not run by the people of Great Britain or the rulers of Great Britain, because that would make no sense to do that. Another thing that was banned in that, no, I'm going to leave it there, fuck it, that'll do for this video, because I want to drink my fucking beer, and I can't really be bothered to sit here for that long trying to upload the fucking video right now, because I've been at work all week and I'm sick of it. So yeah, I want to have a little few beers. I've got to go and do my washing and shit, and I'm going to have another couple of beers there. But yeah, the Witherspoons put their prices up again at exactly the same time that Google fucking media is giving them free advertising as they normally do, claiming that they're having to shut pubs because Witherspoon stole the entire were given the entire market. These pubs are packed from start to at the start of business to the end of business nearly every fucking day. They are not struggling. They've maybe shut a few pubs in like the poorest fucked up areas in the country, but still own thousands and thousands or hundreds and hundreds, and are making serious fucking wedge in there. I've just paid £4 for a fucking bowl of fucking chips. It's pissed me off. A pint of Guinness has just gone up. Basically the thing that I order a portion of chips, a pizza, and a fucking pint. Every single one of those items has had money added onto it, which has put that one meal up to by £1. It pisses me off because that's happening everywhere. So what they do, they offer the market to the fucking little retarded, little fucked up minion mongo spastic that the education system and society has created, and they offer it. They like Greggs, no different from how all these big chains operate. When they start, they offer everything cheaper than everywhere else to crush every other small business, like Greggs did to every fucking baker. Yeah, now Greggs is fucking, because Greggs was the cheapest bakers on the market. Now it's gone up. Now they've crushed all the other fucking and bought out all the small little fucking bakers. Now they've whacked the price up, so now they're expensive, just like all the other fucking cunts. And fucking Witherspoons is going exactly the fucking same way. And this Witherspoons here, like I said, is like a fucking museum of bullshit. They're code breakers, man. All the rulers on earth all work together, have always worked together. They claim all these price going up is because of a fucking war in the Ukraine. There's been wars going on in this world for the entirety that I've been fucking alive. Yet now, because they've just injected the fuck out of everyone and they're on a new fucking agenda, now they're just whacking the prices up of everything to push a squeeze slowly, that will then, it's going to impact in them forcing everyone to get vaccinated. Just because they're not fucking doing it right now don't mean they ain't going to do it very soon. Like I said before, it's a slow fucking boil. They put everyone on a fucking slow boil. They don't rush in and do it, and they get the wackos running around panicking. And just quickly on this, I've been told now by a couple of people that it's now TikTok that is the new YouTube, after YouTube is now claiming that it's fucking cleaned up its image, and all it does is mock what they call the conspiracy. Now it's TikTok that's the outlet that's supplying all that bullshit information. I worked with a conspiracy theorist last week. Great laugh, great geezer actually. I had a great laugh with him for a few days. The best laugh I've had in fucking a long time actually. But he was a complete fucking conspiracy wacko. You're talking about the Bilderbergs, the Rockefellers, the usual Bill Gates. That's all they talk about. Yeah, the chicken conspiracy in America, because he'd been over in America for a little while, but you can't get through to him. You won't get through to him. A conspiracy wacko is as wacko as everyone else. That's why I don't really give a fuck about them all. Can't get through to the middle patients. You can't help a world of cretins, ultimately. And they're all cretins in one way or another. Whether you're a sexual fucking deviant cretin, a god cretin, a fucking cretin, money cretin, or just a cretin, a crippled cretin. You know, there's cretins everywhere. A world of cretins. You can't help a world of fucking cretins. Because they're just fucking wackos. What you have to do is just use those cretin wackos just to get what you need done when you need to do it. That'll do.